Okay, Nataniko Nikki. My name is Lori Newbreast, and I'm from the Blackfeet Nation in Montana. I'm a member of the Blackfoot Confederacy. We live in our indigenous homeland that now is on the geography of Montana, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. I came today because the headwaters of the continent and the very lives of my people and our cultural way of life is in danger because of the fracking. And we did not consent to this, nor will we consent to being the last generation that lives on that land. We guard the headwaters of the continent, and that's what we do. That's who we are in every sense of the word. And the oil companies, the oil speculation that is going on for profit is not our way of life. And we are not going to be sacrificed so that somebody far off or away from us can make money.
Let water burn.
This water would catch on fire if we let it. Frack water, we don't want it in our community.
Don't let it out.
That's somebody's drinking water.
That's drinking water contaminated by fracking from a well in Butler, Pennsylvania. This is supposed to be drinking water from a well, but look at it. This is drinking water? We're supposed to drink this stuff? Yet we're handling it here in toxic protection suits as toxic waste. If I were to take one of these bottles of this so-called drinking water and go inside that office and dump it under carpet, I could be arrested for dumping a hazardous substance. And yet here it is as well water that somebody's supposed to drink.
That's right, this is frack water. We don't want it in our communities. We can't drink it safely. We give it back to the drillers. I bet they won't drink it.
Let's make them drink it.
It's a beautiful place. This year is my only.
Okay, my name is John Fenton and I'm from Pavilion, Wyoming, and the reason I'm here is because I think that all people, no matter where you're from or what your background, that we need to come together to solve this problem, to stop this destruction of our environment, our way of life, our community, and provide some sort of future better than the road we're headed down right now for our children, our grandchildren, and to leave a legacy that we can be proud of. We can leave a clean environment, we can leave a place where people can be healthy, where they can have the essentials of life, and they can appreciate what people did to preserve
Let the
that.
smell won't sicken. I don't wanna explode my place. Trying to make it some tea.
Alright, my name is Nicole. I'm from Madison, New Jersey. I go to school in Oberlin, Ohio. And I would say where my reason why I fight fracking so much is from my stories in Ohio and the people I know. And they live just one county next door to me. And their water was actually contaminated. And they first noticed it in their cat. The cat was losing their hair, and they started to get sick. And they were able to, they did like a lawsuit and settled it in court. And the company is supplying them now with drinkable water every month. On the contingency, the gag rule, they're completely gagged. They can't go public with the information with this story. And so I'm doing this to be their voice, I guess, or try to help them in that way. And because the first well was actually drilled in my county that I go to school in, and we fought tooth and nail to stop it and couldn't stop it, it's like 500 feet from a vineyard. It's the people that own the vineyard lease their land for this well, and you can literally see the grapevines from the well. It's awful, and they run the well 24/7 when they drilled it, because this is the part that gets me, is when they ask the people who lease their land, ask the construction workers, like, why are you running this thing at 3 a.m.? Like, why is there constant 24/7 drilling? And they were like, well, we want to get this done with before anyone knows what's going on. Right out of their own mouth. I mean, I never thought they could be so honest.
Well, my name is Josh Fox. I'm here because several years ago I received a proposal from an oil and gas company to lease my land in the Upper Delaware River Basin for fracking. And I went ahead and looked into it and ended up making a film that spanned the whole country, going all around, documenting people's stories of fracking throughout the United States. And the film is called Gasland. Originally it was supposed to be for my area, you know, a community project, but we did send it to Sundance, and luckily, unbelievably, we got in. It then ended up on HBO, was nominated for an Oscar, and has gone all over the world. It's been seen by about 50 million people right now. So this incredible community that I was documenting as I was going along America, who were fighting fracking in their own backyards, in their own hometowns, slowly started to realize, oh, there are other people all over the country that are doing this, and you're seeing this progression of a movement happening. And this is, I think, the first rally in D.C. And they called me up and they said, will you come down and speak? And I said, absolutely, I will be there, and all my buddies are here. And so I'm here to support and to talk about how oil and gas industry is literally fracking up the government. They are injecting huge amounts of money into the political system, and that is literally contaminating our democracy. Every single dollar is a toxic dollar.
Hi, my name is Russell Mendel. I work with waterdefense.org. And I began my journey working on fracking about a year and a half ago. I had been working in the Ecuadorian Amazon, building rainwater catchment systems for people who had lost their water due to oil contamination. And when I saw what people had to go through without clean water to drink, when I saw the way that families struggled with severe health problems because they had water that was coming out of their sink or faucet that was yellow and contaminated, my heart just dropped out, and I knew that this had to stop somewhere. So when I came back from Ecuador, I saw that this was beginning to happen in my own country, in the United States. And I knew that this was where it had to end. Because if we would allow this to happen here in the United States, there is no stopping it. It could travel all across the world and affect everyone. And I knew that if we stopped it here, it would provide inspiration for people around the world in the same struggle for clean water, for clean air. For without clean water and clean air, we have no future. And it must stop here. This is our opportunity. The contaminating practices of fossil fuel, of extreme energy, has now entered the most wealthy countries and now entered places where with lots of population in these areas. And this is our opportunity to say no. We will not allow it here. We will not allow it anywhere. Because as long as there are people who are being made victims to these contaminating practices for the profits of large corporations, we cannot rest. We cannot rest.
Don't tell me the water's safe, that the smell won't sicken. I don't wanna explode my place, trying to make it some tea.
Patty Gorchev. And I'm from North Lima, Ohio, which is right 20 minutes south of the phone call last night. Now, yesterday, I was here lobbying Senator Brown's office, and we were speaking to one of his aides. And I mentioned silica sand because I'm concerned they're going to frack at my daughter's school. And I said if this sand hits the track or the playgrounds, the kids are going to stir it up. It goes directly into your lungs, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. What it does, it slices your lungs open. It's called cilicosis. It's the worst form of lung cancer you can get. And everyone that this plumber worked with is now dead because of this sand, which is why they banned it. So I went back to my hotel last night and I got a phone call from a friend of mine down in Steubenville. They got a phone call that there was a train coming in and they were hauling silica sand. When the train pulls up, there's a conveyor belt hooked to it. They put the sand on the belt, it goes to the trucks. Obviously, some of it is now hitting the ground, okay, because there's so much that comes out at a time. When it hits the ground, the workers were telling some of the residents there that it is now contaminated and they can't use it to drill. So they're offering it to the residents free of charge, trying to be a good neighbor and telling them, they can take as much free sand as they want for their children's sandboxes, for their gardens. So I put a call back into Senator Brown's office today and informed him. I understand now that the EPA is on their way. OSHA has recently issued a warning about this. Sand, that at the very least their workers should be wearing a particle mask. I understand they're reluctant to do that because they don't want to alarm their workers. The truth is they don't care about their workers. These people, it happens to be a very poor and uneducated area. And these people are grateful to get something free. But the truth is, it's genocide. It's pure, unadulterated genocide. They're going to kill these people. They're going to kill all of us.
And I'm calling on people, you people, to stand up and demand the rights guaranteed by our Constitution.
What we as the Tour de Frack group are doing is carrying these stories and many more to Washington, D.C. to present to our senators and representatives to bring awareness of the plights of the individuals as a result of toxic fracking. Something has to be done. Will you join us?
Absolutely! Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness! Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness!
This year is my only time to make mistakes. No time to get it.
And now, Jason, our fearless landman, will be coming up, and he's going to be telling you a little bit about some of the things that we'll be carrying with us along with these stories to Washington, D.C.
I want a future too.
What has he got a jug of, is that from the fracking?
Guess what this is?
Water?
Go ahead.
That's about how bad it looks.
Tap water.
Yeah, that's how bad it looks.
Tap water from a woman's home next to a fracking rig. Now 18 months ago, this was clean and clear. And after the fracking started, she was diagnosed with arsenic poisoning. And her water's looked like this ever since. Now, not only that, it dries up after she fills about 2 of these for me. The third one she can't fill. Yet, the state agency in Pennsylvania, the DEP, tells her that this is safe to drink. This is safe to bathe your children in. This is safe to use in your animals. She's fleeing. She sold her house and got out. She got an offer for $10,000 on a $9,000 home, and she took it and got as far out of there as she could. We're carrying, in addition to the story, 6 gallons of this water with us on our bikes down to Washington, D.C.
That you're gonna bring. This town needs sustainable work, not raping and pillaging. Well, this here is a beautiful place, our own little single love. You won't move into this place, so take your trucks and get off of my